In the previous class, we learned that what are the components of food and what is nutrition, and also two types of nutrition, that is autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition means plants prepare their own food, means self preparation of food. And the second type was heterotrophic nutrition, in which organisms depend on others for their food. Then we have seen the process of photosynthesis in plants, how the raw materials are supplied or transported to the leaves, and which are the raw materials that are required for the photosynthesis. And in the end, we saw what are the products of photosynthesis, that is nothing but carbohydrates, or we can say sugars, and along with that we get oxygen that is required for the living of all the organisms. So now in today's class we are going to study about how photosynthesis takes place in different types of plants. So let's begin.
How will we come to know that photosynthesis takes place in all green plants? For this, we need to perform an experiment. We need to go to the lab for this, but as you all are not here, I'll be sending one link to see the experiment. So first, I will explain the experiment and then you can watch the link. We have to take two potted plants of the same kind. One plant we should keep it in a dark room for almost 72 hours, that means almost 3 days, and other plant in the sunlight, and perform iodine test on both and observe the result. Now, do you know what is iodine test? Do you remember you have conducted iodine test on potatoes in standard 6? The color of the potato changes to bluish black because it contains starch. So if the color changes, it proves that the potato contains starch. Similarly, here in this experiment, the plant which was in the dark room does not show the result for the presence of starch. And the plant which was under the sunlight, and when the iodine test is conducted, the leaf changes the color. This shows that presence of sunlight is very important for photosynthesis. I hope you understood. Now here I am going to send a link of that particular video. The video contains how the iodine test conducted on the leaves. So watch the video carefully. Next we need to see what happens in non-green plants. Suppose the plants are not green in color. If the leaves of some trees and plants are of different colors, whether photosynthesis takes place or not. If we say photosynthesis occurs in only green plants, how do these colorful plants prepare their food? You can see here on the slide some different colored plants and trees, right? Different colors like pinkish, then some lavender color, magenta. So all these colors you can see. How would they prepare their food? Now actually, your leaves other than green also contain chlorophyll. Only thing is that the presence of other colors like red, yellow, brown, etc. dominate over green color. In these leaves, green color is not visible, but photosynthesis takes place in those colorful plants as well. So these colorful plants also prepare their food by themselves because chlorophyll is also present in the colorful leaves. So next, moving on, even sometimes we see slimy green patches in the ponds and lakes where the water is stagnant. What is stagnant? Stagnant means water which does not flow, especially like a pond, lake. This green colored slimy patches are called as algae. So what is the color of algae? So you all know it's green. So algae also contains chlorophyll and they can prepare their own food. Now we have to see photosynthesis in desert plants. Now here we all know in the desert some plants undergo some modifications. So besides leaves, photosynthesis also takes place in other green parts of the plants, like in green stems and green branches. So in desert plants, they have scales or spine-like leaves to reduce loss of water by transpiration. So these plants have green stems which carry out photosynthesis. Mostly the leaves are very small in desert plants and the stems are greenish in color and they carry out the process of photosynthesis. Now let's see one more important topic of this chapter, that is synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates. Now we know that carbohydrates are produced during photosynthesis. What about other nutrients? From where do plants get proteins? So proteins are actually nitrogenous substances. Nitrogenous substances means proteins contain nitrogen. Nitrogen is a gas. So how do plants obtain nitrogen which is in the air? You might think stomata is here now, because in the previous class we have learnt that carbon dioxide is absorbed by the stomata, because when the stomata is open and close, the exchange of the gases takes place. But here, though nitrogen is a gas, stomatas cannot let in nitrogen. Then how nitrogen is absorbed by the plant? Here, soil has certain bacteria that can convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form, and it releases it into the soil. So these soluble forms are absorbed by the plants along with water. Soil has certain bacteria that can convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form and it releases into the soil. Once the nitrogen is released to the soil, these soluble forms are absorbed by the plants along with water. So this is one way of obtaining natural nitrogen. And sometimes you must have seen farmers add artificial fertilizers like urea, ammonia, so that are very rich in nitrogen. So in this way, the plants fulfill their requirements of nitrogen. So I hope you have understood how proteins and fats are synthesized by the plants other than carbohydrates. I will send a link and watch the video. Now at the end, this is the questioning time. So I am sending a assignment sheet. Please download it and solve it.
So let us recap what all things we have learned in this today's class. First, we saw sunlight is very important for the process of photosynthesis. And then I explained you about photosynthesis in non-green plants and photosynthesis in desert plants also. At the end, I have explained you about synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates, how nitrogen is absorbed by the plants and how the bacteria play an important role in the conversion of gaseous nitrogen into soluble nitrogen. That's all for this class now. See you tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye-bye.